Man, the Denver Broncos have wrapped up week one of voluntary OTAs. We're going to break down all the news, the notes, the analysis that we are hearing from the local media, as it was the only session so far of OTAs that was open to the media. And there's some fascinating takeaways. And it's an exciting time, man, because this is when the anticipation for the 2025 season starts to come to fruition, guys. So let me know in the comments below, man. Like, subscribe if you're not already. And let's just dive right into it and talk about some of the news, the notes, and a few of the takeaways. So a couple notes here, man. Firstly, and anything in the notes section is something that you hear directly from the players or Sean Payton after practice. It was Sean Payton, Bo Nix, and Talanoa Hufanga who actually met with the media today. But note number one is that Drew Sanders will be playing inside linebacker. Sean Payton had said that the vision is clear for him there, which is a very good note. It's not really necessarily surprising, but it's very good news because he is someone that I think is kind of undergone a little bit of an identity crisis when it comes to, position where he's going to play at. So you love to see it. And I think he's going to be able to shine there. He was also mentioned to be what they call a pressure player, right? So someone that they feel very confident that in certain, looks against certain types of offense that they're playing or depending on the game plan or, obviously depending on down and distance, they can send him on blitzes or they can even line him up on the edge to be an edge rusher because he's got that kind of ability. So, just hearing those kinds of words and talking about he is going to be playing inside, the vision for him is clear. He's a pressure player. It really tells me that they have high hopes for Drew Sanders. And the big key for him this offseason, no doubt about it, is going to be health, staying healthy, and just finally getting good work and getting good reps in. So, with Dre Greenlaw being out, still nursing that quad injury, I think it's a really good thing for someone like Drew Sanders because he's going to, really maximize the amount of reps and the amount of work that he's getting. It was also really nice to see Alex Singleton was back. He was a full go. So both those guys are going to be able to really get some very much needed reps early on in camp. Good news is they're not really learning a new defense, so they don't have to adjust there. But it's just nice to be able to get their feet underneath them. Another thing of note is that John Franklin Myers is not at OTAs. It's not contract related like a lot of people had speculated. He has always worked with a particular trainer down in Florida, as he always has. So it's something that Sean Payton kind of brushed off. He didn't seem like it was a big deal at all. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that I know he wants a new contract, but it's not related to that. They do anticipate him being back next week for the second week. Even though both are voluntary, it's going to be nice to see him back and at it. So we will keep updates there, but not overly concerned. I think John Franklin Myers kind of understands what it is. Go out there and ball out. You can earn yourself an extension, but it's a crowded room, man. Savion Jones being a draft pick of ours, and Malcolm Roach, who's someone that is also going to be an unrestricted free agent after the season. They're all here, so go out, ball out, and make the decisions really tough for the guys up in the front office. Another newsworthy note here: Bo Nix looked, according to Sean Payton, entirely different than early last year, which you would obviously expect, right, in year two. But just glowing reviews across the board from Andrew Mason, from Sarah Bettinger, from Cody Rourke, all the guys that were down there, Mike Kliss. They just said he's unbelievably comfortable. He threw the ball really well, very accurate. Not overly concerned about that, basically playing against air. But what I really like to see, there was a video that I think Sarah Bettinger might have put out. Let me make sure I'm getting proper love. It was Zach Stevens out of DNVR. He had said, most significant observation of the first day of Broncos OTAs is that Bo Nix is doing significantly more coaching and teaching on the practice field with his teammates, and he's really taking the next step. So you should go ahead and I'll put this up on the screen so y'all can see it. I'll give you guys a little bit of an idea there of what it is that he said. So obviously, guys, these are things that you love to see, no doubt about it. And, him being more vocal, he's more comfortable in this offense. So it's not so much this offseason about, learning. Are you going to, learning, basically just trying to get down the verbiage and all that. He's kind of just spitting it out. He's telling guys where they need to be, what he's expecting. So you love to see it. So obviously very, very early still. But positive news at this time of the year is always better than negative news, right? But you got to take everything with a grain of salt. But super excited for what our franchise quarterback Bo Nix is going to be doing this upcoming offseason. I think just the fact that he is more comfortable, he's got the experience, he's got the confidence under his belt. I think massive things are gonna happen to him. So I love it. Another thing that Sean Payton had said when Andrew Mason asked him about Estime is that he said, Audric Estime is one of those backs that you can't really give a grade. It's an incomplete grade for his rookie season, which I would completely agree with that. Obviously, we know some of the issues that he had in terms of ball security, but it was an incomplete grade. He said he's a back that they're very high on, and that he's the type of back that also needs to get a lot of touches, and that he's going to get a lot of touches. And by all accounts and all reports, he looked really good, very quick. Him and RJ Harvey looked awesome together. Which leads to the next point of RJ Harvey looked great today. Apparently, he's built off of a really solid rookie minicamp, and I'm super excited, man. Super excited to see this running back room take shape. And, even I want to see the rest of the guy. I want to see what Julio looks like. I want to see what Blake Watson can do, Tyler Bidet. Get all these guys out here and let them go out there and compete and get to work and let the best men win. And then last note here that we have is that this is from Mike Kliss. I heard it on 104.3 The Fan today. He said Crawshaw, our punter, was pretty inconsistent. He had, a couple punts that were bombs, and then a couple that were shanked, and then they did a lot of directional work, which he said is a very big change from college. He's a punter, I get it. He's probably going to get a lot better. He's going to get an understanding of what Darren Rizzi wants for him. So that's always it's going to be a little bit of a transition, but just something to keep an eye on. You definitely want to see significant improvement from Crawshaw. You expect for him, if he's a 6th round pick, you expect for him to be a borderline Pro Bowl punter or a franchise punter, as my buddy David Talks Broncos likes to say. So yes, that is something that you want to see. Couple takeaways here, man, that I got from just all of the news that I had gathered from OTAs was that I don't think there's any doubt about it. I think right now, RJ Harvey and Audric Estime backfield is the early favorite. I wouldn't call that a surprise, but I think it's pretty much set in stone. Those are going to be the guys that are getting a majority of reps, and you certainly want to see them go out there and make the most out of it. It is going to be huge for Audric Estime. Absolutely huge. Is he on a short leash? We won't know. We can anticipate that he is, but we ultimately don't know. But he's got to go out there and look really good. And then RJ Harvey, again, he looks quick. He looks explosive. He caught everything in camp. In rookie minicamp. He caught everything this week during OTAs by all accounts, so he looks really good and comfortable catching the ball out of the backfield. That's going to be massive for him. But this whole running back room is going to be really fun, and they need to take massive strides forward. I do think it starts with the 2nd round pick, RJ Harvey, that we got this year. So excited to see that. And then consistently from all of the media members that were at camp today, they kept talking and raving a little bit about Devon Vele. Talking about he really popped today. He looked like he had a great connection with Bo. He was finding ways to get open. He looked more explosive, more comfortable. So just like you expect a year 1 leap for Bo Nix, you should certainly expect that from Devon Vele as well. And you should expect that from Troy Franklin. But not really surprised that Vele, took that leap. He was someone that started really quickly last year, really showed that potential early on because he's a little bit of an older player, has some experience in college. And it translated to him having a fairly decent rookie season, especially for a 7th round pick. So he can make things very, very interesting this offseason if he can continue to shine and play well. And we know, man, one thing we do know is that Sean Payton really likes him. He likes his size. He likes the consistency that you're going to get there, the reliable hands. So you got to love it. So kudos to Devon Vele taking a leap. People are saying Evan Ingram looked great. I think Evan Ingram is going to absolutely shine in this offense. He definitely is not built like a tight end. He is built like a wide receiver. It is pretty evident. He's not a very big guy. And we always knew that he wasn't. He looked a little bit smaller, I think, on the videos that I saw than anticipated. That could also have been that he's still kind of working his way back from that shoulder. He was a full go by all accounts. But when you're rehabbing a shoulder injury over the offseason, you can certainly lose weight, lose strength. So I think that we'll get a better idea of what he's physically going to look like in that, in those 5-6 weeks between when minicamp is over and when they all come and report for training camp in late July. So that is going to be something that is going to, certainly garner some attention. I'm just excited about Evan Ingram. He's such a needed player for this horrible tight end room that we have, and I just hope that he stays healthy, man. By all accounts, if he can stay healthy, it's going to take this offense to a completely new level. Another thing, I think Hufanga and Jahdae Barron are going to absolutely shine in this defense. I mean, you're talking about two guys that, one's obviously a rookie, our first round pick this year, and Barron Hufanga is someone that's been an all-pro in this league and is still young after battling some injuries. These are guys that just fly around the field. You can put them anywhere. They've got crazy versatility. I can't wait to see it because that fits exactly the kind of mold that Vance Joseph wants to have for his defense, and being able to move them around and play a lot of different looks. If you're wanting Hufanga to be more of a center fielder, he can do that. If you want him to play in the box, he can obviously do that as well. Jahdae Barron outside, inside, you can play him in the box as some safety. You can send him on blitzes because he's a great tackler. Just take whatever you saw from our defense and all the amazing plays that they had last year and how solid and consistent they were. I think it's going to be amped up to another level. That's going to be the real, true side of the football that takes this team as far as we need for it to. And we already know defense wins championships and offense sells tickets. And I think this offense is going to do a much better job in general. And I think they're going to help, sell a lot of those tickets. But man, when you have a defense on the other side, it makes it a lot easier for the offense to not need to be overly aggressive or not necessarily be sharp, especially to start the season. So cannot wait to see Hufanga and Barron shine in the offense. And as we had talked about earlier with Drew Sanders, I think right now he's definitely the early favorite to be the inside linebacker that starts opposite of Dre Greenlaw. He's healthy. He's getting all the reps. Even though Alex Singleton was back and was a full go, both him and Drew Sanders are getting a lot of those reps. But he's someone that you can just tell, man. And my buddy Kodiak had a really good point on this in his video yesterday. They clearly like him. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's not about what you say. It's about what you do. They obviously talk glowingly about Drew Sanders, but the fact that they rushed him back last year and activated him probably, well before he should have actually been back to play just shows that they really like his potential and what it is that he can do. Worst case scenario with him, obviously injury aside, I think worst case scenario with him is that he's a really good special teamer because we know he can play teams. And that was one of the reasons why he was activated. But best case, I think he's going to end up being the starter opposite of Greenlaw. And I can't wait to see him in that full-time role after finally having a healthy offseason, getting over that Achilles injury. Hopefully he looks faster because he certainly looked like he was running in mud last year when he came back. 6-7 months after that, you expect for him to look a lot more like he did when he was in college physically. And that's going to be another fascinating room. So I can't wait to see how this wide receiver group plays out. I think that there's a lot of confusion and some clarity that needs to be brought there. Obviously the running backs and the inside linebackers, those are the rooms that I'm the most excited to watch throughout the rest of OTAs and into training camp. I'd love to know you guys' thoughts below, man, but exciting day to see all the Broncos starters, back in their helmets, in the practice jerseys, running around on the field. It's always a beautiful thing to see, man. But let me know what you guys think below. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and until the next video.